The Australian Outback is one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. Stretching across millions of square kilometers, it's a vast expanse of scorching deserts, rocky plateaus, and sun-baked plains. With temperatures that can soar above 45 degrees Celsius by day and plummet at night, survival here is no easy feat. Water is scarce. Food is rarer. And help? Often hundreds of miles away. It's a place where nature rules with absolute authority, where even the most experienced travelers can vanish without a trace. And yet, one man would come face to face with this brutal wilderness and survive. For 71 days, he endured the Outback's relentless sun, its deadly wildlife, and the deafening silence that comes with complete isolation. This is the story of survival against all odds. A story not just about a man lost, but about the raw, untamed power of nature itself. Welcome to Risky Reality, where risks become reality. Before I start the video, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. For now, let's continue the video. The Australian Outback is a land of extremes, endless red plains scorched by the sun, where temperatures soar during the day and plummet at night. Water is rare. Shade, even rarer. It's a place where survival is never guaranteed. And in 2006, one man found himself face to face with its harshest truths. Megee was 35 years old when his life took a sudden and terrifying turn. He was on a drive across the remote stretch between the Northern Territory and Western Australia, an isolated part of the country where towns can be hundreds of kilometers apart. What happened next remained shrouded in mystery. In one version of the story, Ricky says his car simply broke down. In another, far more sinister account, he claims he was drugged and left stranded after his vehicle was hijacked. Whatever the truth may be, one fact is undeniable: Ricky found himself alone in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, with no food, no water, and no way to call for help. At first, the shock must have been overwhelming. Alone, with the searing sun overhead and nothing but endless scrubland in all directions, Ricky had no choice but to enter survival mode. His chances were slim. The Australian Outback is not forgiving, and many who are lost in its vastness never make it out. But Ricky was determined not to become one of them. He began building a makeshift shelter using branches, bark, and whatever materials he could scavenge. At night, he dug shallow holes in the earth to try and retain warmth from the brutal cold. But even with shelter, the real enemy was hunger and thirst. With no supplies, Ricky was forced to turn to nature for nourishment. He learned to eat whatever could find: frogs, lizards, and even insects. Frogs became a regular part of his diet. He would skewer them on bits of wire, leave them to dry under the blazing sun until they were crisp, and then eat them whole. Grasshoppers were eaten raw, as were leeches pulled directly from a natural dam he stumbled upon. Water, the most precious resource of all, became his obsession. He fashioned crude water collectors using plastic sheets to gather dew and drank from puddles left behind by sporadic rainfalls. The dam, teeming with insects and parasites, became his lifeline. It was there that he collected leeches and drank the murky water, filthy, but life-sustaining. Over the days and weeks, his body began to waste away. He lost over 130 pounds, his muscles eaten away by starvation, his skin stretched thin over his bones. The transformation was staggering. He went from a healthy 230 pounds to just 106. Despite the overwhelming odds, Ricky clung to life. For 71 days, more than 2 full months, he survived in isolation, relying on nothing but sheer willpower and the few resources nature reluctantly provided. But the story of Megee was far from over. His fight for survival had brought him to the brink. Megee's body was wasting away. After 71 days stranded in the Australian Outback, he had been pushed beyond the limits of human endurance. What kept him alive wasn't just a natural survival instinct. It was a sheer, almost stubborn refusal to die. In the heart of the Outback, every day is a trial by fire. The sun shows no mercy, predators stalk silently, and the land offers little in the way of nourishment. But against this brutal backdrop, Ricky adapted. He lived off frogs crisped under the sun, swallowed insects raw, and drank whatever water he could find. Nature, both cruel and strangely generous, became his captor and his provider. Then, on a day like any other in the unforgiving red wilderness, everything changed. A group of station workers from the Berrindudu Cattle Station, an outpost in one of the most remote corners of Australia, spotted a figure in the distance. At first, they weren't sure if it was a man or a ghost. Emaciated, sunburned, and barely able to stand, Ricky had wandered close enough to civilization to be found. Mark Clifford, the station manager, was among those who helped bring Ricky to safety. He later visited him in the hospital and was stunned by what he saw. "I saw him last week, when he'd just been admitted. He looked like a skeleton then," Clifford recalled. "But I saw him on TV last night, and he looked completely different." According to Clifford, the fact that Ricky survived at all was a miracle, but not entirely impossible. "It's the middle of the wet season at the moment," he explained. "So he had enough water to keep himself in a decent state. It's not as hard as people think. And there's lots of frogs and snakes and lizards about. They don't give you much nutrition, but they give you enough." Still, the toll was immense. Ricky had lost over half his body weight, dropping from a robust 230 pounds to a skeletal 106. His survival shocked doctors and fascinated the media. He became an unlikely hero, a modern-day castaway who had beaten one of the deadliest environments on Earth. Yet, even after his rescue, mystery clung to Ricky's tail like dust to the red desert floor. The police investigated but found no evidence of foul play. Despite Ricky's initial claim that he was drugged and dumped, authorities said there was no sign of a crime. A spokeswoman for the Northern Territory Police said, "It has been ascertained that this man spent a considerable amount of time in this area. The investigation so far has found no evidence to suggest any criminal offenses have been committed. Police are still trying to locate the man's vehicle." In 2010, Ricky released an autobiography recounting his experience, offering more insight into his harrowing journey. But questions still remain. What really happened on that remote road in 2006? Was he a victim of foul play, or simply a man caught in one of nature's harshest corners? Whatever the truth may be, Ricky Megee's survival remains one of the most astonishing tales in modern history, a story of endurance, adaptability, and the unbreakable will to live. Ricky Megee's story is more than just a tale of survival. It's a testament to human resilience in the face of nature's indifference. For 71 days, he endured one of the harshest environments on Earth, with nothing but instinct, grit, and sheer willpower keeping him alive. The Outback gave him no mercy, but somehow he made it out. Whether his journey began with a crime or a breakdown may never be fully known. What mattered most is that, against all odds, Ricky Megee lived to tell the tale. If you found this story as unbelievable as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more real-life survival stories from the edge of the world. Thanks for watching.